Once you've identified and screened the right candidate, your next step as a security leader is to ensure the employment agreement serves as a legal and policy-aligned foundation for that individual's responsibilities. This isn't just HR's job. You play a critical role in making sure that agreements enforce the right behaviors, protect sensitive assets, and clearly bind employees to your organization's security policies. In this lecture, you'll learn how employment agreements and policy-driven requirements anchor your personnel security program and define a shared expectation of trust, accountability, and legal compliance from day one. To protect your organization and set clear expectations from the start, you need to make sure every employment agreement includes clauses that directly align with your security policies. These aren't optional add-ons. They're foundational to building a culture of accountability and compliance. Start with an acceptable use policy. This clause should clearly define how employees may and may not use your company's systems, networks, and data. You want to eliminate ambiguity around issues like personal device usage, social media activity, and data handling. Your job is to make sure this clause reflects current technologies and evolving risks. Include a strong confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement. You must ensure employees are legally obligated to protect any sensitive, proprietary, or classified information they may access. This obligation should apply both during and after employment, especially for individuals working in roles tied to intellectual property, customer data, or regulatory compliance. Make compliance with security policies and training a formal, enforceable requirement. You're responsible for ensuring employees agree to follow documented policies and complete mandatory training programs. This clause holds them accountable for participating in awareness activities, staying current on evolving threats, and following procedures designed to protect the organization. Finally, add disciplinary action and termination clauses to clearly outline the consequences of policy violations or misconduct. This clause sets the tone from day one. Your employees should understand that failure to meet security expectations may lead to formal disciplinary measures, up to and including termination. As a security leader, it's your responsibility to work with HR and legal to make sure these clauses are not just included, but also up to date and enforceable. Your proactive involvement ensures the organization's personnel security policies are both practical and legally defensible. An employment agreement isn't truly complete until the employee has formally acknowledged your organization's core policies. As a security leader, you must ensure this acknowledgement process is enforced consistently and documented properly. Start by requiring each new hire to review all core policies, including your security policies, privacy standards, acceptable use guidelines, and code of conduct. Don't assume they'll find these on their own. Make it part of the onboarding workflow. This is your first opportunity to align their behavior with your organization's expectations. Next, have the employee sign off to confirm they've read and understood these policies. This step is critical. It's not just about awareness, it's about accountability. By signing, they acknowledge the rules they are expected to follow from day one, which strengthens your position in the event of future misconduct. Finally, ensure they receive a copy of all signed documents, either in digital or printed form. This gives them a reference point and eliminates claims of ambiguity later on. It also supports a transparent culture where expectations are clear and accessible. When you document this process thoroughly, you create a defensible record of informed consent, a vital safeguard if a security incident, audit, or dispute arises in the future. Your role is to make sure this isn't just a formality, it's a secure foundation for employee accountability. Policies change, regulations evolve, and so should employee awareness. You should establish a process where employees re-acknowledge key policies on a recurring basis, for example, annually or during policy updates. Automate this wherever possible through your HR or learning management system. This reinforces expectations and ensures continued alignment with your risk posture. When you prepare an employment agreement, don't treat it as just a job offer. It's your opportunity to establish a clear, contractual foundation for security accountability. This document should define boundaries, expectations, and responsibilities that guide employee behavior throughout their time with the organization. You need to make employees aware of data classification and handling expectations from the start. Whether it's public, confidential, or restricted data, they should know how to access, store, transmit, and dispose of it according to your organization's standards. Make sure the agreement prohibits unauthorized access or use of systems. Employees must understand that they are only allowed to access resources necessary for their roles, and any misuse, whether intentional or accidental, is a serious policy violation. It's also essential to clarify personal accountability for access rights. Every employee should know that their credentials are their responsibility, and any activity under their login will be traced back to them. This reinforces responsible behavior and discourages credential sharing or neglect. Lastly, don't overlook the importance of reinforcing obligations upon separation. Whether through resignation, termination, or retirement, your agreement should outline expectations for returning devices, deleting confidential data, and upholding NDAs after they leave. By embedding these responsibilities into employment agreements, you ensure that security is a built-in part of the employee lifecycle, not an afterthought. You're creating a culture where accountability is understood and enforced from day one. If a security incident leads to legal or disciplinary action, your employment agreement becomes one of the first documents reviewed. Ensure the agreement matches your internal policies. All reference policies are current and accessible. HR and legal teams have signed copies on file. This is your best defense in protecting the organization's legal standing and reputation. So, what's your leadership takeaway? Your responsibility doesn't end at hiring. It extends into how employees are legally bound to act. By embedding security requirements into employment agreements, you establish policy as a formal part of employment. Set legal and ethical expectations for behavior. Create accountability from the first day forward. Strengthen your ability to respond to future violations. This is one of the most powerful ways you contribute to a secure and policy-aligned workforce. Lead with clarity, document with precision, and reinforce with consistency.